Have you ever watched your grandchild wipe their nose with their hand, rub it on their sleeve, and then reach right for a cookie, all in the same breath? You probably shook your head, maybe even laughed a little, but deep down, there's that quiet concern. Are they staying healthy? Are we doing everything we can to keep their little bodies strong? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As grandparents, we've seen a lot over the years, and we know one thing for certain: kids today catch every bug that's going around, and it feels like colds come and go more often than seasons change. The good news? You have more power than you think when it comes to supporting your grandchild's immune system. Whether you're watching them after school, helping pack their lunches, or just sharing Sunday dinner together, there are small, natural steps you can take that make a big difference. And the best part is, they're easy, inexpensive, and they work with your everyday life. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 simple, natural ways to help give your grandchild's immune system the support it needs, without turning your home into a pharmacy or making life complicated. These aren't magic pills or trendy gimmicks. They're things you can do right now, just by paying attention to the basics. Let's start with something as comforting and familiar as a home-cooked meal. You've probably said it 100 times before: you are what you eat. And while it might sound like an old cliché, it's absolutely true, especially for children. Their bodies are still growing, their immune system's still developing, and every bite they take helps shape how well they fight off infections. Now, we're not talking about turning into a gourmet chef or forcing broccoli down anyone's throat. It's really about choosing whole, colorful foods over processed, packaged snacks. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, these are the building blocks of a strong immune system. One simple thing you can do is include a fruit or vegetable in every meal you serve them. Think berries in the morning, carrots with lunch, maybe some green beans with dinner. Even frozen vegetables work just fine if they're steamed or roasted. Kids love roasted sweet potatoes if they're cut into little wedges and drizzled with a bit of olive oil and cinnamon. They think it's a treat, and you know it's full of immune-boosting vitamins like A and C. Vitamin C, in particular, is a real hero when it comes to fighting off colds. Oranges, strawberries, even red bell peppers, those are easy to add in, and most kids will gladly eat them when they're cut up nicely. You don't have to overhaul everything. Just start with what they already like and sneak in some goodness there. A handful of blueberries in their cereal. A spoonful of mashed avocado on their toast. A side of apple slices instead of chips. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be better. And of course, what they drink matters too. You'd be surprised how many kids go through the day hardly drinking any water. They'll guzzle down juice boxes or sweetened drinks, but plain water? Not so much. But the immune system relies on proper hydration to function well. Water helps flush out toxins, keeps cells healthy, and supports every single system in the body, including the immune system. So if you can, encourage water with meals, or keep a fun water bottle around that they like. Maybe even make it a little game: let's both finish our water before lunch is over. A little motivation can go a long way with little ones. Now, let's talk about another natural immune booster that often gets overlooked: sleep. Oh yes, the one thing most kids fight like it's their sworn enemy, but it's actually their secret weapon. When children sleep, their bodies repair, rebuild, and produce the cells that help fight off infection. Without enough sleep, their immune response weakens, making them more likely to catch every cold or flu going around the classroom. But here's the challenge: bedtime isn't always easy, especially with all the screens, sugar, and energy kids have these days. Still, you can help create a calming bedtime routine, even if they're just spending the night at your place once a week. Maybe it's a warm bath, followed by a quiet story in bed. Maybe you dim the lights and turn on some soft music. Routines tell the body, hey, it's time to wind down. And believe it or not, those routines stick with them. And if you're lucky enough to still have them little enough to cuddle, even better. That closeness, the safety and love they feel, that also helps calm their nervous system, and a calm body sleeps better. So don't underestimate the power of a few snuggles and a sweet bedtime ritual. It's good for their heart and their health. Now, I want to take a moment and say this: don't be hard on yourself. We've all had nights where chicken nuggets were dinner and bedtime stretched past 10 p.m. This isn't about being perfect. It's about noticing where we can gently guide things in a better direction. Maybe it's offering water more often. Maybe it's slicing up some strawberries instead of reaching for candy. Maybe it's just making sure they get to bed on time when they're with you. Every little thing adds up. And remember, as a grandparent or a caring adult in a child's life, you matter more than you know. Your influence, your habits, even the meals you share together, all leave a lasting impact. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something, and do it with love. Now that we've touched on how nutrition and sleep can naturally support a child's immune system, let's take a look at something else just as important, something that might surprise you. Something that might surprise you: the power of movement. Now, I know when we think about kids, not moving enough probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind. Most of them are bouncing off the walls from the minute they wake up. But the kind of movement that supports the immune system isn't just about racing around the house or jumping on furniture. It's about consistent, healthy physical activity that gets the heart pumping and lungs working. You don't need to drag your grandchild to a gym or sign them up for sports if that's not their thing. What really matters is helping them get outside and move their bodies in natural ways. A simple walk around the block, a trip to the park, even helping you water plants or rake leaves, it all counts. These gentle forms of exercise help boost circulation, reduce inflammation, and support the white blood cells that fight off illness. Plus, when kids spend time outside, they soak up sunlight, which helps their bodies produce vitamin D, another key player in immune health. And if the sun's out, all the better. Just 15 or 20 minutes of sunshine on the skin can help the body make enough vitamin D for the day. Of course, if you live in a place where the skies are gray more often than not, or it's the middle of winter, a kid-friendly vitamin D supplement can help. But when it's nice out, take advantage. Fresh air and sunshine are some of the best free medicine out there. You might be surprised at how much they enjoy the outdoors when it becomes part of your shared routine. Maybe it's a morning walk after breakfast, or a game of catch in the backyard, or even just exploring bugs and flowers together. You'll both benefit, physically, emotionally, and yes, immunologically. And don't underestimate the value of you being out there with them. Kids are far more likely to get moving when they see you doing it, too. You don't have to keep up with their energy level, just be there, engaged, sharing that time. It makes memories and healthy habits at the same time. And while we're talking about being outside and staying active, there's another natural booster that goes hand in hand with this: lowering stress. Yes, children feel stress too, even if they don't always have the words to explain it. Whether it's from school, social pressures, family tension, or even something as simple as a disrupted routine, stress can quietly weaken a child's immune system over time. You've probably noticed it before: right after a big test or a family argument, they come down with a cold. That's no coincidence. Stress hormones, especially when they stick around too long, can interfere with how well the immune system responds to germs. And in today's world, even young kids are being pushed and pulled in ways we never had to deal with when we were their age. That's where your role becomes even more special. You offer something most of the world doesn't: a safe, calm, and steady presence. Just spending quiet, quality time with your grandchild, playing a board game, baking cookies, reading a book together, helps lower their stress levels more than you might imagine. When they feel safe, seen, and loved, their nervous system settles, and their immune system gets a chance to function better. Even a few deep breaths together can make a difference. Next time they seem overwhelmed or wound up, you can try something as simple as saying, "Let's sit for a second and take 3 big, slow breaths together." You'll both feel calmer, and you're teaching them something powerful they can carry into their own life. It doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, just being a quiet place in their noisy world is the best gift you can give. And let's not forget the power of laughter. It's more than just a nice moment, it actually has real effects on the body. Laughter reduces stress hormones, improves circulation, and boosts immune cells. So go ahead, tell that silly joke, dance around the kitchen, make funny faces. Whatever gets them giggling, keep it going. That joy you share? That's medicine, too. All of this adds up. A little healthy food here, an earlier bedtime there, a few extra minutes outside, a good belly laugh at the end of a long day. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about creating a rhythm of life that supports their well-being, one moment at a time. And the beauty of it is that these habits don't just help them today, they shape who they become as they grow. You're not just helping them avoid the sniffles or the flu. You're helping them develop a strong, resilient foundation that will serve them for years to come. And whether they realize it now or later, they'll always remember that it was you who made them feel better, stronger, and more loved. So if you ever feel like your days of making a difference are behind you, think again. Every orange slice you serve, every walk you take, every bedtime story, every gentle word, it all matters. You're not just boosting their immune system. You're building memories, shaping habits, and being the kind of support that stays with them long after the moment has passed. Now, let's take a look at one more powerful, natural way to support a child's immune system. This one might not be something you'd expect, but it plays a surprisingly important role in their overall health. Their gut. Yes, that's right, the gut. Now, I know that might sound like an odd place to focus when we're talking about immune health, but science is catching up to what many of us have sensed for years. What's going on in the belly can affect the whole body, especially the immune system. You've probably heard the phrase gut health floating around more lately, and for good reason. Inside every one of us, children included, is a whole world of bacteria, both good and bad, that live in the digestive system. This collection of bacteria is called the gut microbiome. When the balance is right, the good bacteria help break down food, absorb nutrients, and yes, even help regulate the immune system. In fact, about 70% of the immune system lives in the gut. That's no small thing. So, how do we support those good gut bugs and help keep the immune system humming? It starts with the kinds of foods we give our children. Processed snacks, sugary cereals, and fast food can throw off that balance pretty quickly. But foods rich in fiber, like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, help feed the good bacteria and keep things running smoothly. Think of it like this: every time your grandchild eats a banana, a bowl of oatmeal, or a spoonful of yogurt, they're not just filling their stomach, they're fueling their gut's defense system. Yogurt is especially helpful because it often contains probiotics. Those are the good bacteria themselves. If your grandchild enjoys it, go for the ones that are low in sugar and maybe add some fresh fruit on top. It's a snack that feels like a treat but does a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes. And fermented foods can be helpful too, if their taste buds allow for it. Things like kefir, sauerkraut, or even miso soup can gently support the gut if they're open to trying new flavors. Of course, not every child is going to dive into a bowl of kimchi, but if you can sneak in small amounts here and there, it adds up. Even just being aware of it helps you make better choices when planning meals or snacks. Hydration helps here too. A well-hydrated gut functions better, moves more regularly, and keeps everything in balance. So again, keep that water flowing, and if they resist, try adding a slice of lemon or orange to give it a little flavor. Sometimes all it takes is a fun cup and a silly straw to make water more exciting. But gut health isn't only about what we add, it's also about what we avoid. Antibiotics, while sometimes necessary, can wipe out both bad and good bacteria, leaving the immune system a little off-kilter. If your grandchild has to take antibiotics for something, it's a good idea to help them rebuild afterward with probiotic-rich foods and plenty of fiber. And try to limit unnecessary medications or overly processed foods that can disrupt the gut's natural balance. Now, this next part is just as important as food, sleep, and movement, and it has everything to do with connection. You see, children don't just thrive on vitamins and minerals. They thrive on love, laughter, and a deep sense of security. That emotional foundation strengthens everything, including their immune system. And guess what? As a grandparent, you are uniquely equipped to provide just that. Whether they come to you after a long day needing a quiet moment, or whether you're the one they call when they're scared or unsure, your presence helps regulate their stress and boost their overall well-being. Sometimes, even just holding their hand or sitting quietly beside them speaks louder than any words. The bond you have isn't just sentimental, it's biologically beneficial. Studies have even shown that children with strong emotional bonds to caregivers tend to have better immune responses. Why? Because when a child feels safe, the body isn't stuck in fight or flight mode. Instead, it can shift into repair and recovery, those vital states where healing happens and immunity is built. So yes, your hugs, your warmth, your stories, those are just as important as any supplement. And don't forget about creating a calm environment. You don't need a big house or fancy gadgets. What children remember most is how they felt in your presence. Did they feel heard? Safe? Loved? Those feelings help form a solid base that supports every part of their health, including their ability to fight off illness. So, if you've ever doubted whether you're doing enough, let me remind you, you are. By showing up, by caring, by offering them healthier choices and emotional support, you are helping shape their future in more ways than you may ever fully know. It's these small, steady efforts, serving balanced meals, encouraging bedtime routines, playing in the sun, offering comfort when they're overwhelmed, that weave together a strong foundation. A foundation not just for good health now, but for habits and strength they'll carry into adulthood. And isn't that what we all want? To know that we've passed on something meaningful, not just memories, but tools for a healthy, resilient life. Because whether they're 2 years old or 12, whether they're close by or growing up fast, they will always carry a piece of what you've given them. So, next time you see your grandchild yawning at the dinner table or sneaking a second cookie, you can smile a little, knowing you have what it takes to guide them gently back on track. You don't need a medical degree or a pantry full of pills. You just need a little knowledge, a lot of love, and the wisdom you've built over a lifetime. And remember, your role in their life isn't small. It's mighty. Just like their immune system will be, thanks to you.